No, like if you see something happening, like go ahead. I should see it as well and just stop. We're live. Okay. Let's take the cake, Jared.
All right, welcome here everyone for this week 6 showdown. I am your caster today. I am Gosu Fei, accompanied here by my analyst Intensify, and we have a week 6 matchup between Royal Vagabonds, currently coming in here with a record of 1-4, is about 9th place in the standings right now, versus Hot Take, coming in here with a record of 3-2. And Intensify, what is your opinion on this matchup? Is it where are our points of contention here?
Yeah, that's a good question. So like obviously looking at Hot Take as like the I guess higher ranked team at the moment, a lot of their strong points are in their top jungle and support. Obviously, they do have a pretty well-rounded team, but when we look at blue side, Conqueror's team, Royal Vagabonds, um, it's almost unclear where their strengths lie at the moment.
Okay.
Um, Usually they have the strong bot lane with Damar and Plots, but Damar's being subbed out, and they have pretty much two support mains in the bot lane right now, as well as a new jungler, Mr. Cat, which I know nothing about. It says he's plat 4, and Conqueror back in the mid lane. So I think that this team still is undetermined to where their strengths lie, and I'm hoping to see them plot something interesting here with their shook up roster.
Yeah. So it does look like we're hopping in the draft here, with the Royal Vagabonds coming right away with an Aatrox ban,
Mhm.
in the first ban, and followed by a Lulu ban from Hot Take. Really, does the early top bans tell you anything about Royal Vagabonds' strategy here? Where they should be prioritizing their picks and their strengths, having the blue side first pick?
Not really. I mean, obviously they're playing against Hot. Like I said, Axiom is the focal point of that team, and there's always probably going to be bans levered against him. The one thing I want to talk about though is it seems like a lot of his picks, Aatrox, Kled, whatever, kind of fit the same niche, and banning more than one almost feels pointless if he's gonna get one anyway.
Mm.
But obviously they don't want to play against the Aatrox, so they took that out. And then we do see a Sivir ban against Hot, which is interesting. They don't want Fallen to be able to be, a passive poker in these fights. And then a Morg ban, which I'm hoping, is saying we don't want you to flex that. RV is banning Zac, which is also interesting. It looks like these guys have done some prep that I have not done.
Yeah, they are rapid firing these bans back and forth here. It almost from what we've seen in the past here, you almost can expect a R1 pick of like a Caitlyn for Fallen here. We've seen him play that a lot before. Maybe that's possibly something that Royal Vagabonds wants, and they do lock in the Tristana first overall.
That's interesting. Now I wonder if Conqueror has added this to his pool to make it a flex pick. In mid and ADC. It's interesting, like I said, because Plots is the AD carry right now, but he's a support main,
Ooh.
so it means that he's also probably played this Tristana. And we do see Give Me a Cup twice picking up his Fiddlesticks, which he has pulled out recently, I believe, performing very well on it. Very strong pick at the moment.
Yeah, Fiddlesticks definitely scary. We've seen it quite a bit around the league here lately, and it's interesting to come right away. And there is the Caitlyn locked in right there for Fallen, I imagine.
Yeah, and that's definitely a comfort pick for him. If anyone knows anything about me, I really don't like the pick, but if it's working for them, it's working for them. So
Absolutely, it'll
interested to
be
see what support they pair that with.
very, very interesting. It definitely Caitlyn may be offering some a little bit safety back, knowing that if you are facing against a Tristana that could jump on you, they do answer back with the jungle pick of their own from Royal Vagabonds here with the new. What is your opinion on that?
Yeah, Nunu's a interesting pick because he's very objective focused, heavy ganker and good clear, but he also needs laners that he can play around that have good damage. So in terms of him against Fiddlesticks, they almost want to ignore each other in fights. Fiddlesticks wants to get behind him. Nunu kind of wants to get behind Fiddle to provide a big front line, but I think that it does offer them good objective control.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. And just in these first two picks here, not knowing their third pick, oh, and the Nautilus coming in as a support pick, you almost it goes off of exactly what you said. It screams that early fight, that early damage, that strong engage there.
Yeah, I think that if they're planning to put the Trist bot, which I think is a good is good into Caitlyn with the Nautilus, unless Hot actually gets some really good disengage on a support here, I think that they have the opportunity to really, um, be very aggressive in this bot lane.
Yeah, and almost at the point now, it looks like they are going to take away the Kled here for Axiom. I know from personal experience, he can be a terror on that Kled. But prioritizing the top pick before we go into the second round of bans.
Yeah, I think that it's fine. We've seen Axiom do this before. He wants to get a top quality, in his eyes, top quality top laner before he gets banned out, and he's very comfortable on the pick. We have seen him, fail on it once with or against Ignition, where the Nocturne, really got the best of him up in that lane. But I'm assuming he's probably not going to expect the Nocturne this time, and hope to actually get the better of Sidro in the top lane.
Yeah, definitely. And really, you almost expect from Hot Take here at this point to hopefully for the survivability in lane. Actually, they are going to transition their bans over to that support position with the Karma. Is Karma a huge concern in this scenario? Is that something that you would ban?
I think it's fine. It offers disengage. Some supports that we could look at for hot take could be maybe the Braum or Janna looking to disengage. Whereas picks that we want for RV, I would almost assume that some divers like maybe Wukong or Kali would be good picks for them to get on top of this Caitlyn and nullify her from the game.
Yeah, and we do see the Braum ban following that Karma ban here, or at least
hmm
a hover for the moment. I imagine that's going to get locked in here, and we'll be right back on over to Red Side to see what they do. Do they take the top laner, or I'm sorry, the mid laner or the support here? You'd imagine they'd probably take the support and hold that counter pick. I'd imagine
Yeah, with Kate, I would like to also see something like maybe a Lux here. Kate Lux is a
something
very
with
strong
some
lane.
wave clear.
Yeah, with wave clear allows you to get actual turret plates and push while also being able to disengage properly. I don't really see that being a mega champ, but we do see the Maokai coming out, which is
Very interesting.
it is interesting. It also means that they now have different modes to play in the bot lane. He does offer some disengage, but not really a whole lot until 6.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a little bit concerned about that bot lane now because it almost feels like they lack the wave clear to really keep the Tristana and Nautilus at bay. They can't engage on you if they're constantly clearing the minions, but it almost feels like they're gonna have full lane priority just by looking at these picks.
Yeah, well, I actually have some. I don't know if this is insider info, but I do know that Fallen on the Caitlyn really he actually maxes his traps and looks for freezes instead of
Mm,
perma pushing and getting tower plates. So knowing that Tristana's going to push into him, he's assuming that he can just freeze the lane in there and force them to engage on them and also make picks. Which is an
that
interesting way to take it, and I really hope that this works out for them. We do see the Wukong pick. I do think it's great into Caitlyn. Offers also some disengage into Fiddlesticks and some tankiness into Glad.
yeah, that actually does offer a lot into the team comp and a little bit of an insurance policy too. You'd imagine, right?
hmm
If the damage is lacking there from the Tristana at any point.
hmm The only downside to this matchup is the Kled Q actually, I believe it reveals Wukong while it's attached. I'm not positive. But if he does land that Q and Wukong isn't able to get out of it or clone fast enough, he could be in some danger in top lane.
And
We
so we
do
do
see.
see the Diana
Yep.
in the mid lane here.
Yep, and
Uh,
that's what I wanted to see is some more dive potential. However, this draft is getting very volatile on both ends. I think that, obviously either team is looking for um, gold where they can get it, and we do see Syndra almost
Very
locked in.
interesting.
Malzahar. Let's see what they do.
I think I do like the Malzahar better than the Syndra in this scenario.
Malzahar would be a pretty good pick into the Diana, being able to, negate some of her damage with his shield, and also anytime she wants to go in, if he has ult and Fiddle's there, she's, toast.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I see that I really could see this going either way personally. There are some concerns for hot take that I think you voiced and I voiced already, but really overall, what is your feeling on this draft? Where do you see the advantage playing through here?
Um, Generally, I would like to say that the advantage should go to the aggressor. It means that what I mean by that is that if the enemy is making more mistakes than you and you're aggressing, you have more opportunities to get leads. Um, the only problem with that being is I might not like Hot's draft as much, but like I cannot deny that Axiom and Give Me a Cup Twice are like really good players, and I hate to say it, but I think there's a really strong chance to get leads anyways, just from the performances we've seen from them before.
Yeah, yeah,
So
definitely. I'd have to agree with you there, and I think just to kind of build on what you said, there's almost like this counter engage trump card in the Fiddlesticks Ultimate, right?
yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, if he can position correctly, not get engaged on, and ult in, I mean, things could definitely go in the way of Hot Take, but also like you have a Caitlyn in those team fights. If they can ever get on her, she does very little.
Hmm.
Um, so I think it really is up to the Fiddle and Kled damage, and maybe even Mal's if he gets that far. And I'm also wondering, is Maokai building tank? Is he building damage? I'm not really sure.
Yeah, yeah. I think in this scenario, you almost hope that he takes the aftershock and builds the tank. You have the damage coming from the jungle, and
Hmm.
hopefully the Caitlyn damage will still be there come mid and late game. But it, you almost kind of need that beef.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I honestly think that Aftershock is good here, but um I'm kind of wondering, if Leandri's Maokai is actually, if the damage from him, like even if he dies in fights, is worth it to just get off with his ult and start burning this engage comp, so that you know that mixed with Fiddlesticks ult, mixed with Malzahar Q E, and then Kled killing everyone. I wonder if that'll be enough for them to get kills.
Yeah, that's a really interesting thought process. It's almost saying, hey, here we are. You got to lose 30% of your health bar to get the engage you want.
Right, right. It's almost like a suicidal Brand or Karthus or something. Just get
Right.
taking dot damage on everyone and a little bit of CC. But I
Definitely.
kind of doubt we'll see that.
I think one thing I do personally enjoy about the Maokai pick is the added vision. Hopefully, it'll bring for them. They're facing a comp that's going to look to get to that Caitlyn, like you said, right? Uh, and,
Hmm.
and and they need to be able to spot that flank. And I think having a sapling here and a sapling there might just help them do that.
Hmm. Um, I do want to talk more about this whole Caitlyn pick. In my opinion, you should use her to get turret plates, to get pressure on the map, secure those dragons because she is bot side. And I do think that we're not going to see that here. She's not going to have the lane pressure she wants.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we're going to see Nunu getting these early dragons, and it's possible that that actually starts stacking up for RB, and we get to soul a soul from this game, but who
Yeah,
knows?
I definitely could see that because Tristan is going to naturally push that bot lane, and part of the big advantage of red side, if there is an advantage at all, is having that early dragon pressure. And when you have a clear like the Nunu is going to clear, and then maybe the bottom lane priority here, it's going to be tough to really set up and take control of that area.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure. I do think so. In my experience, Conqueror is an interesting mid laner. And the fact that I feel like he might not pressure his advantages like he should with his lane. However, I think Diana's a really interesting pick that allows him to get engages that he might want, and in conjunction with the Nunu, he might be able to set up team fights really well for his team. I just wonder that, they have a really dive-heavy comp with Wukong, Dan, and Nunu. But my problem is Tristana kind of almost has to jump in with them to get damage off if Hot Take's peeling back.
Right.
And that might be really dangerous for Trist. If she mispositions at all, getting hit by the Fiddlesticks all could be lethal.
Right, right. And I think that one last word is the big word for me in all of this is fiddlesticks.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he kind of he's going to control whether these fights go really well or really wrong for RV. And I think a lot of that contention is going to be having that vision over on the other side of where the Raptors are, having the vision on behind the the sides there, the flanks, the
Yeah.
little extra areas, because as you said, Fiddlesticks, he's kind of like he's kind of the thing that could teeter this in any direction.
Yeah, he's an extremely volatile champion. When he's ahead, it's scary. When he's behind, it's scary because,
Yeah,
you have to fight for vision if you're ahead, and he could be hiding behind any wall, ready to take out your team. So I do think that if RV is able to get a lead and get good vision, good solid vision to enable TP flanks, it's gonna nullify Fiddlesticks almost completely. However, I do think one thing to note is that if RV does engage into them, Maokai almost acts as a wall for Fiddlesticks to be behind and start ulting. He doesn't need those walls. He can make it obvious if Maokai gets the root, gets the setup going.
holds them in place. I see
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, I could totally see that, and it really brings up the question if the win condition is setting those flanks from RV, like you probably would like to see Diana with TP here and not Ignite.
Yeah, for sure. I think that um most likely we're gonna see Ignite out of Diana. I think that it's not really necessary. Because if you think about it, if there's a good gank ever by Nunu, like, you shouldn't really need Ignite to get the kills. If it's set up properly, Diana, Nunu, and Tamel's, like, it should be pretty simple to get the kills. So I do think teleport is better, to have more lane pressure, to be able to exert your pressure on other lanes as well if you get a lead. I just wonder what rune she'll go at this point, because I have seen Conqueror and Electrocute on Diana. And I kind of think I'd rather see Conqueror in this draft, knowing that she's probably going to be scuttling with, Kled, Maokai, maybe, and Fiddles at some point.
Definitely, definitely. And you almost got to imagine that the cleanse has to be a must here from the Tristana this game, right? You're facing a Malzahar, a Maokai. You got the Caitlyn traps, and of course, that lovely Fiddle Fear.
I don't think so. I don't think that the Tristana is a focal point for them. Like if she dies, the game is not over for them in any bit. I almost look at her like Trist with Nautilus is looking to destroy Caitlyn in lane, just get on top of her. If they don't, so be it. But I would much rather go for like kill heavy summoner spells here and actually try to win the 2v2.
Yeah. Yep. And so we're going to head to a pause here, and we will see everyone in approximately 3 minutes when we are loading in game.
I will. I got it. We are loading in now, I believe.
All
Uh,
right.
Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back, everyone. We got a really exciting matchup coming here. I'm really excited to see if anything does happen in this level one here. Josh, what is it if you're Royal Vagabonds right now with the Nautilus hook and the level one strength? Are you going for an invade? Or are you just trying to get through this level one safely?
I do believe that there is a world where Royal Vagabonds can go for an invade. With the Nautilus hook, some damage out of Trist. They can maybe make it work, but I do think we'll probably just see a 5v5, or sorry, a 5-point setup for both teams to start.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, I could see that as well. Uh, we do see uh, the heal and flash coming out of the Tristana. Originally, it looked like they did have that exhaust ignite in champ select, and looks like they have chosen against that.
Yeah, they went for the heal ignite, which I think is fine as well. I do think that exhaust ignite might have been better. Simply because we should understand that knowing we have a dive comp, their Maokai is most likely going to take exhaust, which he did. Which means that ignite. I mean, maybe I'm thinking about that wrong. Maybe heal is better actually. We know he doesn't have exhaust, so the heal will always get full functionality.
Yeah, definitely. And as we talked about a little bit in champ select, we do have double TP on both sides of the coin here, so we could see uh, some action bottom lane. I expect maybe a few 4v4s or 5v5s.
Mhm. Yeah. Looks like ping's going out on the way. They might look for a mid lane. Looks like
Yeah,
they are
early.
going to 5-stack mid.
Hope I wonder if that Maokai is going to the river brush or is he walking straight down lane. Yeah, hot take does not have anybody walking straight down mid lane, so they're going to move into the side
Inferno is
brush.
AFK. That is
Inferno
not
is
good.
AFK.
I don't know if the sapling that he threw out actually catches anyone. Looks like he might
Oh,
get
that's
caught here.
flash. That's flash. And
That's huge.
I'm not sure if Maokai is running Hex Flash in this
He is not.
matchup.
No, that is
No,
no Hex Flash Maokai, which I mean, I don't know if I agree with. But that is not how they want to start out the game. That's at least the second time we've seen a team, you know, get behind from the early mid invade, and teams really need to start stepping it up, getting the game on time, and having their mid laner actually holding mid to prevent that invade.
definitely. And we do see the early pink ward forced down on the blue buff here. I'm not sure exactly whose pink ward that was. I didn't, but or
That's
it's
that's
a Fiddlesticks
Fiddlestick.
passive, isn't
Yeah.
it? Okay.
No, no, no. No, that's a Fiddlesticks pink ward,
Oh,
which he did not place close enough to the
so they
the ward
actually
that they
spot
played.
out the bluff. That's funny.
That's interesting.
Now there is a possibility that Maokai Flash does go unpunished here because we do see a blue start from the Nunu. Oh, looks like he is actually rotating for possibly a level 2 gank here. Early
Interesting.
ping's going down. Snowball is charged up, coming through down the river right now. Hook lands on the Caitlyn from the Nautilus. Follow that up with a snowball right on the Maokai without flash. That's gonna be first blood. Oh, and it goes to the pockets of the Nautilus.
Yeah, a little detrimental, but still, that's first blood for them. I'm sure they couldn't be happier with that. Very good, smart Nunu gank. I mean, solo queue players hate him, but damn, if Nunu can't gank early, it's insane.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's again also that we see that Triss Hop going down, forcing the flash out of fall in. Man, maybe just stepping up a little bit where he shouldn't be.
Yeah, the lane's already pushed, and you gotta kind of concede it while you can, and take the hit. Your sports dead, you kind of just can't really do much more with it.
And we do have an early scuffle. This engage between the Wukong and the Clegg going on a little bit longer than you'd expect. Normally it's just a little chip shot here, a little punch on the shoulder there, but they really went all in on each other there.
And I think that does slightly benefit Wukong, knowing that Nunu can come top early, and also because of his passive, he's gonna regen a lot of that health back.
Absolutely. We do see the Nunu clearing his blue buff right now, so possibly a trip up there in the future after the Scuttle Crab does come up. We have the Nautilus Hex flashing right onto the flashless Maokai. Tristana putting the damage there, but actually just kind of feels like they lost it.
Yeah, Fallen had a really good trap to set that up. You know, Panagaku didn't get his auto attack off in time, and that was a waste of tempo, in my opinion, out of the Nautilus.
Yeah, have we do see the Nunu engaging on the Fiddlesticks in the river, fighting for that Scuttle Crab. Forced to flash out of Fiddlesticks. He did smite the crab to get for the extra HP, and with the fear, he might just walk away from this.
Interesting trade. Now, they're backing off of this because, you know, Conquer is low, but I kind of wanted to see Nunu just keep walking bot, let Conqueror back and teleport in and contest the second Scuttle, because I do believe that Scuttle did go the way of Fiddlesticks.
And he is going to get the double Scuttle off of this,
Oh,
going right
actually,
into the river.
sorry, I misspoke. No, that was Mr. Cat on the Nunu getting it.
Oh, you are right. I do see that on the map now. But it does come at a cost, right? We do see that the Diana was forced to back. Definitely a lost priority there in the mid lane.
Yeah, although she didn't lose a ton because she didn't TP, and the wave was pushing to her, she catches most of it because it's a cannon. It also,
We have the Fiddlesticks coming around in the bottom lane right now. Right as the Tristana walks in, Fallen cutting towards his Fiddlesticks right now. Fear going on. And that's actually going to be 1-0. TP's coming out. Diana in the battle, but Malzahar following it right up.
interesting.
And in the extended trade, when the health bars got so low, we see just a 1-0 in the favor of Royal Vagabonds.
Yeah, very interesting game we have so far. We do see a 2-0 start to Royal Vagabonds. They're up 700 gold. However, both the kills went into Nautilus's pocket. Of course, you know, a Fed support's a happy support, but I I think that the gold lead is almost skewed a little bit because of how kind of ineffective this gold might be in his hands.
A little bit misleading, yeah, definitely. And we even through it all, the Caitlyn is still 1 CS ahead of the Tristana. Now that will change here shortly, but perhaps still a much closer game, and than otherwise it would look.
And if Fallen, it looks like he's going to, if he freezes this, Trist is not a happy
Now it's
camper.
Hex flashing in the mid lane and misses the hook there after the Black Shield is down. Is going to take the target stack on the big minion, but all in all, walking away. While you said the Caitlyn does appear, just based on the map, to have a freeze in the bottom lane.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess it's good roam timing out of Panagaku, although he doesn't really get anything out of it. This lane is not where they want it to be at all for Royal Vagabonds. And, I mean, yes,
we do see the Fiddlestick coming in for a gank top lane here. Axiom going in, and ultimately nothing really happening. The wave just a little bit too close to that blue tower.
But they did blow his ult, and Axiom still has yet to have his, so I would say a slight advantage now to Kled, now that he is 6.
That is a good point. That's a very good point. And we do have the blue side on the dragon right now, taking that early dragon priority. Possibly a little bit of cost sacrifice there for having the freeze bottom lane.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they did exactly what they wanted to, or, you know, they did exactly the right move in saying, hey, you know, if you guys free it, we're just going to take your dragon. And I don't really know what Nunu's doing at this point. Like, you know, we just saw Fiddle's top. We know that he started his blue buff. He should be taking his blue, but instead he's just going to take his red, and he's going to be slightly behind now. Fiddlestick's doing this. Fiddle's also probably going to get this Scuttle, and once he backs, he's going to be a happy camper.
Yeah, all while knowing he still has his blue buff sitting there because that pink ward is still there. Absolutely. So we see lanes kind of even out here a little bit. Diana getting the wave in right into the tower mid lane right now while Inferno is walking back to lane. Perhaps a possible roaming opportunity.
Oh yeah, looks like he is going to take this time to roam, which is interesting. I mean, they know they have vision here, but Maokai might not be in the best position to get a gank off. This is going to be a slight overextension if she wants to, or if Conqueror wants to make this happen, but looks like he's just going to hold off.
We do see the Nunu coming back in the top lane. All while Fight is going down below in the bottom lane. Lulu Thresh jumping in the Tristana on the Kate, and they are losing that trade. Fallen pumping and damage in the backline. They just cannot get to him with the Maokai peel.
Yeah, Fallen Mega playing really well so far.
We do have the Kled alting in on the Wukong here, but Mr. Cat right there on the Nunu. Meanwhile, a Fiddlesticks all going down the bottom lane. That's a double kill for Fiddlesticks.
And Kled might go down up top too, so this is a trade. A trade, of course, in favor of Hot Take. Getting that double bot lane kill, but Axiom kind of going a little deep. He knew the Nunu was there, but he went for it anyways, and Nunu was just sitting.
He did not leave too far from his laner there, and rightfully so, being in the right place at the right time.
Malzahar doing what he does best and just shoving lane, taking plates when Diana's roaming. In my opinion, he does scale quite a bit better than Diana. However,
yeah, Fiddlesticks are definitely taking that priority bottom lane to heart there, taking the opportunity to steal away the chickens from the Nunu. But Nunu's going to wrap around with the snowball gank. We have a possible ult going down from Diana right on the Malzahar. Nunu's there. It charges the ult, and it goes down, and the kill does go on the Diana.
that was pretty well played from both parties. It's unfortunate that the Axiom TP couldn't get there in time for Hot Take. But that's another kill over to Royal Vagabonds, and you know, it's 4-2, but the goal is even, and Royal Vagabonds has an Ocean Dragon. So I would say that currently it's a pretty even game. I think Hot Take might have a slight draft advantage, but it all comes down to execution.
Absolutely, absolutely. We do see 150 gold bounty now on that Fiddlesticks head. See if that Royal Vagabonds finds a way to find that Fiddlesticks and get that off of his head there. We do still have the Rift Herald up while Fight is going down the bot lane as well. Or top lane, excuse me. And we do have Nunu and Fiddlesticks greeting each other in top river.
Yeah, saying hello.
Well, hello.
Overall, the gold lead is pretty even because, you know, they do have a kill lead, Royal Vagabonds does, but we do see a...
Nunu coming for the gank top lane right now, snowballing it up from river. It just swings a little wide, does land on the Kled, but imagine with the tower, it's so close, he's perfectly safe.
Yeah, I wonder if Kled hit that trap, if, you know, they might have been able to extend the fight long enough for the Fiddlesticks to get there, and it could have been a bloodbath. I would like to see this Nunu finally back. He's been sitting on nothing but steel caps for quite a while.
The Wukong ult coming down on Axiom on the Kled here in the top lane, all while Fiddlesticks is hovering. We could still see a Fiddlesticks gank coming around on that Wukong as he moves to the Tri-Brush 2 ward. Or rather that, they're just going to take the Rift Herald.
Yeah, and like I was saying, you know, Nunu definitely has been getting these objectives, has had prio on that, but Fiddlesticks has had better backs to...
Oh, the Fiddlesticks all coming in over the wall. Now, who did get the Rift Herald there? We have a big old team fight. Malzahar following in, going to ult. That bounty does go off Fiddlesticks right onto the Diana. Malzahar falls right after that.
And that is a huge play for Royal Vagabonds, really swinging the lead. They did get the Rift Herald off that. They're possibly going to get the Dragon off this backswing with this pressure they have in the bot lane. And I mean, things are kind of looking grim now for Hot Take. That is not what they wanted. That they're going to be able to use that Rift Herald 4 plates. They're going to be able to get the next Dragon. Gold's going exactly where they want it to be on the Diana and Wukong.
Yeah.
And, Fiddle had a good engage, but they didn't have, you know, Kled didn't ult in. He wasn't there in time. Inferno's just, sorry, Malzahar is just not a good team fighter at this point in time. And, you know, Royal Vagabonds is taking the lead.
Yeah, perhaps a little bit of an overstep from Hot Take, thinking they could take that fight without mid lane prio and top lane prio. Very, very scary. I wonder if the call... Oh, wait. Pause that. We see the Nihilus going in, a hook landing perfectly on the Caitlyn. Alt follow it with the Ignite. The Caitlyn does go down. They turn on the Maokai now. Tristana jumping in, and oh, the hook does land on it, forcing the flash out of Maokai. So 1 kill and Summoner's blown from the bottom lane of Hot Take.
This is going to be another kill on Maokai. They're going to get an easy dive on this.
With Tristana taking 2 tower shots.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, and there's the Diana. Just a quick dash away and perfect timing.
And, you know, they're low, but I still think they can get plates on this tower and convert it into dragon.
Yeah, it looks like that is the pings are going down on the dragon right now. All while an engage goes on the Kled. I wonder if that was at all to stop a potential TP, but the TP was down.
Yeah, I think he knows he's got this early black clear, which I think is an interesting build. But we do see Axiom actually going tank, so maybe the black cleaver is amazing. Maybe I'm wrong.
Malzahar may be cut out here. No, makes it safely back to his side of the river.
Yeah, and they have no clue that the Fiddlesticks is sitting over here either. Yeah, if you're hot take, this is not the game that you wanted so far. I feel like Royal Vagabonds is really going to be able to start actually pressuring Vision to start denying this Fiddlesticks the flanks and
hello, Nunu back in the top lane. He has just been everywhere in this game. Doesn't get anything this time, but just another little drive-by, making his presence known, making it felt around the map constantly.
Yeah, and I would have liked to see Mega go for, you know, some slightly deeper vision into the red side jungle, knowing that Nunu's top. We know where Diana is, Tristana's never coming. It would just be Nautilus that he'd run. But besides that, that's not really necessary, and he wants to get this bot lane shoved in.
A flash coming out from Nautilus, hook going on the Maokai. They switch right over to the Caitlyn, who is far out of the fight, and Maokai might just make his way right to the Tri-Brush and escape with his ultimate, and a little bit of target selection possibly costing them a kill there. There is going to be a mad chase through the red side jungle of blue team here, though, for that Maokai.
What an insane goose chase, and he gets out. That is a
wow,
amazing for Hot, being able to dodge that TP, that flash engage and everything, while also letting Kled pressure top.
Man, did that just feel like there's a million possibilities that happen? And now scratch that, the Caitlyn does find its way. But the beautiful Fiddlesticks all going back, returning the 1 kill on the AD carry, and now you have a Nautilus who's going to try and make his way to the blast cone and get out to safety, but absolute crazy turn of events from the bottom lane TP gank to the goose chase to the dive bottom lane, and now we have the Diana right there on the Kled in the top lane, forces a flash out of Kled. He will escape with his life, though.
Yeah, it looks like Conquer wants to dive this. Dude, he's probably going to go
for
the
he
flash.
Gets the flash in the queue. Beautifully done.
Very nice snipe. This is definitely the mid laner that I think Conquer has wanted to show that he's actually, you know, a good mid laner in this league, and he's having a very great game so far.
Absolutely, loving the Diana play right now. Now we do see that red side is going to start fighting for this vision around the map, placing the pink ward in the Tri-Brush, knowing where the enemy support has been, and I think that is going to be a key for them to getting back in this game with the Fiddlesticks all. It's going to come down to vision control.
And I kind of want to go back to this tank Kled. You know, generally I think it's
flash coming out. Malzahar there.
I think it's decent to go tank Kled, but here I kind of don't think that that's exactly what they want. You know, most of their team isn't going to be damaging him anyway, because they're going to want to try to get onto this Malzahar Caitlyn, and I do think that he should be trying to go for more damage than...
They are setting up a big 4v3 here in the mid lane. We have the Nunu just hanging out on the other side of the wall with the Tristana. We do see the Fiddlesticks in the area moving over to his red buff now, all while a fight goes down the top lane. Axiom dueling the Wukong.
Yeah, and I would say that went Kled's way, except for now Kled kind of has to overextend, and, you know, if RV has any pressure up there, which doesn't look like they do have, Kled could be in danger, at least.
That's tower down with the demolish.
Tower.
Wow.
Good plays by Axiom, knowing that he can keep pressuring there and get what he wants.
Absolutely. Perhaps opening a little light with in the horizon for Hot Take, having an avenue to gain pressure back in this game. And there is just nonstop action as we see the fight for the vision still continue the bottom lane. There is a collapse going on this Maokai right now. The Tristana does actually jump in. The hop is down, and Maokai just walking away.
Yeah, good trade.
Absolutely.
Knows exactly where Kate's at, that he can actually make that happen without getting one shot. Shows that he's, you know, proficient enough on Trist to first pick it like he did, and I really like to see it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Getting out just before Inferno can reach him with his ult.
Vision is starting to go around this dragon area right now. We do have one TP up from the Malzahar, no TP up on the Kled, and no TPs up for the blue team as well.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to switch over to pressuring this mid lane turret.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty good trade.
Fiddlestick all coming up in from over the wall. Follow up coming now from the Malzahar, all going on Conqueror. But the kills go back to blue side. They just don't quite have the damage. Big fight with the Tristana hop in. Fiddlestick still alive through it all. Kled coming down.
Somehow, Hot is winning this fight. I do not know how that happened. It looked like Inferno was caught. It looks like Fiddle over-engaged. It looked like Fallen was mispositioned. And then they just bring it back like it's nothing. They had the damage. They pulled it out. And that was an insane fight for Hot. I would have never guessed, like, if you showed me the start of that fight, that's how it would have won.
I gotta agree, and it really comes down to one thing you said in draft, and that's Fiddlesticks, the X factor in this comp for Hot Take.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if they're not able to one-shot him, it seems like he's getting way too much healing off in these fights to where they really need to prioritize bursting him, I think.
And with those 4 kills going down in that mid lane fight, we do see 3 bounties come off of Royal Vagabonds, into one going in the pocket of Caitlyn on Fallen on the Caitlyn, and does successfully secure them the dragon, slowing down that soul point, keeping them off soul point, so perhaps buying themselves some time here.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like he is going Lord Dominic's regards. I think it's okay. I think that a lot of times, yeah, you might be hitting Nautilus and Nunu. I don't mind it that much. I would say that maybe there's a question, you know, if rapid fire might be the play, being able to get more damage out at range without getting engaged on. But you know, I think he's confident enough with this Gale Force that if he's healthy,
we do see the Maokai going in on the Nautilus. Not entirely sure what they're fighting over. With Fiddlesticks all coming in over the edge, Malzahar there as well. Need to choose a target. Malzahar chooses the Diana. The TPing. The Diana is dead. Fight coming in. Wukong re-engaging this with the ultimate. While Kled dives in the backline of the Tristana. Nunu right in the face. Does not able to secure the kill on the Malzahar. Going to get Caitlyn ulted right to the grave.
And these fights are just going exactly how Hot wants them to. They're playing it well. They're keeping Royal Vagabonds at bay, and they're able to disengage properly and get the picks that they want. Inferno had an amazing ultimate on Conqueror there to essentially delete him from the fight. Conqueror got 1 Q off before he was dead.
Yeah, I did notice that. I was wondering what they were doing. As we see the Tristana jumping in on the Kled here. Kled getting the Nautilus hook from downtown, securing the kill on the Kled, all while... but do they know?
And that might be enough to actually stop this Baron. Who knows? It looks like they are burst, but they didn't rotate in time, and this is probably Baron for them.
Absolutely. They do turn on the fight. Nautilus is going to go down here to the Fiddlesticks.
Yeah, and Royal Vagabonds cannot walk into this. So that is just... the Baron with, yeah, of course they lose 2 members, but they get Baron, and you know, they're still at a lead. They're gonna have pressure back in these lanes, and I do think they have a slight scaling advantage.
Wow, it really crazy turn of events here between the TPs, the ultimates, and really what felt like a back and forth fight until people finally did start dying.
RV is gonna pick up this mid turret. They do have a Rift Herald as well, looking for a second turret. Trying to say, okay, you did get the gold lead for a second, but we might be able to take it back on the backswing here. Tristana
taking some early damage there, forced a tower aggro from her E. The Rift does take down that tier 2 mid lane.
Yeah, and that is a turret, a gold. Gold has been even now, so you know we're hoping that they can get that Hot Take can get some backs off, and they can actually do something with this Baron buff that they have.
Yeah, we're 22 minutes in this game right now, 14 and 9 kills. The gold is dead even, 36.6k on either side, and really, it's got to feel like the Hot Take are feeling really confident right now, but really this could go either way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look at this 502 Wukong. He's an absolute menace at this point, getting his Gore Drinker and Black Cleaver. Like, if he's able to get that Gore Drinker proc, you know, maybe twice in a fight without getting absolutely melted, like he's going to be a menace in these fights, absolutely pouring out damage. And we do see the Diana getting the QSS saying, you know what, Malzahar, you cannot stop me anymore. I'm going in on your team and you're not going to be able to stop it. We just have to hope that, you know, the Maokai is able to exhaust properly in these team fights to where she's not going to be able to do the damage she wants.
And it's really interesting here. Through it all, where all these fights have it, Wards have been able to. Both teams have been able to maintain vision and vision control of their side of the river. And we are seeing the Nunu hover the Diana now, trying to stop this bottom tier 1 to go down with the Baron buff, but I just don't think they're gonna be able to hold it.
Yeah, so Hot will be able to get this turret down here.
Wow, the 3
they are backing.
And power recall's going down. A beautiful push in the mid lane here.
Yeah, this is exactly what you want to do, and when they're pressuring outer towers, you know, you need to make sure you get that mid control, and that way they might have control over this dragon.
We have Wukong pinging. He wants to go in. He ults right there on the Fiddlesticks and the Maokai. Maokai disengaged going down with the ultimate. Diana from downtown with the ultimate dunks the Fiddlesticks, and now Axiom, you're stuck on the wrong side there, friend.
Yeah, and that's just going to be the jungler down. That's going to be sole point for Royal Vagabonds unless they think that they can re-engage her, which I personally don't think they can with one of their main sources of damage down.
Yeah, I just don't know how you can contest this. You have no smite either. So this is just free soul point for the side of Royal Vagabonds, and what a way to come back and answer for that Baron, pushing that mid lane, forcing them off of the side wave pressure, and then making the catch. A beautiful engage and wrap from the Wukong.
Yeah, it's so weird. We see Hot Take with Baron buff, yet they're getting out macroed while having Baron buff. Like, they go for an outer turret instead of actual control over the map, actual control over these dragons, and, you know, whatever plan that they had going into the later game is being foiled, because now they have to constantly worry about this Dragon Soul just making it absolutely hard for this Fiddlesticks to get any meaningful damage off into it.
Absolutely, and now we see Caitlyn here hitting her 2-item power spike here with the Lord Dominic's Regard now completed, has 150 gold, and Fallen, he's battled back from 0-3 this game, a really rough bottom lane, and found a way to just kind of stay in this.
Yeah, same with Mega. I mean, he's having decent fights as well. He's only 1-3-6, you know, after that first early gank and such, but it's a super close game, and I think we have to give props to both these teams so far.
Absolutely.
They're getting pressure out. They're getting fights.
We do see the Nunu roaming up for Axiom here on the Kled. As he walks away, the fight's still going down. There is a fight going down mid lane as well. We do see the Wukong jumping back over to mid lane. Diana going in on the Maokai. Maokai is going to die. So overall, 1 for nothing, that is.
Just as I was singing Mega's praises, he's throwing it away right in front of us. I don't know, you know, if the communication was off with Give Me a Cup twice on this Fiddlesticks, but he was just sitting in that brush waiting the entire time. I don't know.
Flash in from the Nihilist, misses the hook, and just looks really stylish while doing it.
Super stylish. The most stylish Nihilist I may have ever seen.
and really, it brings up the question, like, sometimes you get lost in the sauce. Actually, a crazy jump over from the Tristana, gets it, Malzahar ulted right into Fiddle Fear. What are you doing?
That is what we call Tristana syndrome. If you have any questions about it, I'm a licensed Tristana doctor. I've face checked so many bushes, inted so many times. Just ask me, and I will get you figured out.
That was a little bit too excited, a little bit too, if you bring the word back, hyphy. But really, a overall loss of pressure when you feel like they really could have cracked inhib there.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, I thought that 0 kills was no longer on this team for this week, but somehow he still manages to pull out this Tristana and int on it. It's very insane.
Oh my goodness. So we do have mid lane Pride going back into red side. Malzahar doing what Malzahar does, pushing the wave. They are establishing vision around these chokes, and it looks like they're going to be in a good position to possibly start up this Baron.
Yeah, we do see Malzahar with the teleport. I wonder if he's going to walk straight there, if he's going to push out top or what, but they don't have the vision to know where the enemy team's at, so if they just start up this dragon, they're going to be at a health deficit and be in the perfect place for Diana to engage on them.
We do see the Maokai all going down, walking forward, but it has no follow-up, but the team is close behind. A lot of damage going in on Diana. She pops the ult before Eing in, a little bit of panicked. Fiddlesticks all coming from over the wall. Really, really close fight. The Tristana pumping damage for free in the backline, not having to jump, not having anywhere. They just walk right to her, and that's going to be almost a clean ace.
That was
Wow.
1 for 5 for RV, absolutely smashing it. We do see Bossman or Sidro up on top on the Wukong taking what he can while they do this Baron, and I mean, this is my problem with Caitlyn. She died so quickly in that game, wasn't able to get any damage off, and then we have this tank Kled who's also doing nothing except being a small nuisance. So like, RV has all the damage they could possibly need in this fight once they get some targets down, and it's just so difficult to actually pull this win out for Hot Take, even when they do have these advantages.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I can't take anything away from Royal Vagabonds, but possibly a blunder there from Hot Take. They had Kate traps on both chokes. They had vision control. The other team has to walk into you if you
Yep.
start Baron, and they chose to spread out and overextend it and take the fight to Royal Vagabond, just giving away all those nice Kate traps that were littered on the ground there. It really
Yeah.
felt like a blunder.
Yeah, and I know there's the argument like, hey, we want them in chokes because we're playing Fiddlesticks, but at this point, yeah, he has 3 items, but it's not like he's actually able to rip through anyone. Like, this is a tanky Nautilus, tanky Wukong, tanky even Diana with her QSS and her W, and tanky Nunu. So like, if you're in this choke, you have these carries who are much more susceptible to Diana just diving in on them. Along with
Fiddlesticks,
the
hold that thought. Fiddlesticks going down on a solo Nautilus, but the re-engage from Royal Vagabonds coming down river comes down. The Diana goes in. Wukong making on the backline to the Malzahar as Caitlyn is pumping damage on over the wall. He flashes over the wall to get to the Caitlyn. Fiddlesticks flashing over as well. The Wukong still alive back there, actually terrorizing, still alive. But the kill does go down in the favor of Hot Take. Tristana hopping over now. Pumping the damage, hops back on over to Fallen on the Caitlyn, and now all for all, crazy back and forth fight, but
yeah, are
looks
they
like
gonna be able
will
to
Axiom go down? Yeah, he has nothing. The Nautilus passive going down on him, and that's an ace. That is Dragon Soul in the hands of Royal Vagabonds. Absolutely mad fight with the Tristana hopping all over the place.
All of these fights have taken so long with these mountain dragons and these slightly tanky team comps, but I do have to give mad props to both of the AD carries there. You know,
Yes.
Caitlyn was free firing the entire time. Tristana was able to do what she needed to do, had the camera control and awareness to decide after she got the 1 kill on I don't know who that was, Maokai maybe, to just immediately
Hopping over the
jump on
wall.
top of Fallen and killing him.
Yeah, I gotta say, I was really impressed with it. Like you said, the positioning from both AD carries, well played all around, and that's just where you're seeing a very tanky comp versus uh, versus a comp that is wanting a lot of the burst from that Fiddlesticks ultimate, but it went alone on a Nautilus.
Yeah. I I do wonder how this game would have went if Axiom did go damage. I think these fights might look a lot different here, because at this point his damage is almost meaningless.
Yeah, with the Sunfire into Sterix Gauge.
It is really hard to kill him, but at the same time, what is he actually doing? Especially compared to this Wukong, who's scaling harder, doing 5 times more damage, and is just as tanky.
Yeah, and we did see for a moment there Fiddlesticks trying to set up a flank around the side, but Nautilus with another flash ult looking super stylish. Fiddlesticks does come in, has a nice ult this time. Is it going to be enough with the lead? Fallen pumping in damage, gets the kill, return kill. They do clean up the Wukong, or I'm sorry, the Kled in the backline. Re-engage coming down from the Tristana, blast the Caitlyn away, and they're just going to pound on this Maokai. He's done.
Very, very clean engage there. Conqueror re-engaging, pulling in 2 people, and getting another kill is very sad that the plots on the Tristana, you know, ulted Fallen just before, you know, he was about to die. You know, Fallen did get out, but this might be game anyway.
Yeah, we do have 22 seconds on the longest death timer, 12 seconds on the Malzahar. Nunu going in on the Caitlyn, perhaps a little bit of a reach with the Fiddlesticks Fear, but all while Tristana is going and taking that tower. They're moving on to the Nexus. This game, they have no way of stopping it. Nautilus hooking the Caitlyn. They're hopping in for a little stylish kill, and that's game, set, match, Royal Vagabonds.
Well played, guys. Very fun game.
Absolutely incredible. Boy, that I gotta say, Josh, that was a pleasure to cast. That was a really fun game to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing that I've noticed is as the seasons went on, it seems like every team is getting better and better each week. Like
Definitely.
these games are actually getting very exciting, and going into playoffs, that is exactly what I want to see.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so we are going to pull in a Conqueror here for the interview. Conqueror, congratulations on your win. Great performance on that, Diana. How do you feel after that one? Oh, it looks like he is muted still.
Hi.
Hey, Conqueror,
Hello.
how you doing, man? Congratulations on the win.
I appreciate it.
How you feeling? How do you feel like that game went? Was it pretty back and forth? Did you feel like you guys had the control the whole time, or were there any panic moments?
Um, um, oh, give me 1 second, 1 second, 1 second.
All right.
Okay,
Um,
you take your time.
okay. So obviously early game was really in our favor, like pretty dominantly. But we
Hmm.
had we had a couple of int plays in the mid game, which actually led them to being in a position where they could come back and literally win the game.
Mhm.
So I believe that for the first, I don't know how long it was. So let me not lie, but for however long it was until we started inting, we like had the free win, and then we started inting, and then Fiddlesticks was like 1v9ing, and
Yeah.
then yeah. So it was overall a really fun game. Comms were explosive, like it was just really fun.
I can imagine. I know we saw your Panagaku. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but his really being very aggressive on the Nautilus. I do have a question here. When you had the TP and then into the instant ultimate from the Malzahar, and you had a really sad fight, at any point during the mid game, did you guys change your comms and change the game plan to account for some of these lockdown CC abilities that they do have, or the Fiddlesticks?
Not really. The game plan as far as that was I dive, Mr. Cat dives, um, Big Boss Man follows up. Uh, yeah, we just let our Tristana sit back and auto away. So like, as far as that, we're perfectly fine with me just dying. Like I said, I'm literally a sacrificial pawn to enable my team in this comp.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it really looked like that your bottom lane and top lane it really has overall a team performance uh, between Mr. Cat, his first game with you, I believe, in an AVG game, all
Yep.
over the map there. How do you feel about your jungler's first performance?
My jungler is a Smurf. Honestly, he's a silent assassin.
Yeah, no, coming into this game, I know I don't know anything about him, but I mean, he definitely had a good performance. You all did. Like that was a really really fun game to watch and a great game out of you guys. Um, I do really like the draft they put. Is very engage oriented. Is that something you think you're gonna keep drafting towards? Is diving and killing people
You know,
as the
our
season progresses?
our our losses. I don't know if it's all of them. Okay, so don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure our two wins. Our two wins, we played Trist full engage, and then our losses, we try to play scaling. So
Gotcha. All right,
I don't
so
know.
talking about your wins in general, I think this is your second win of the
Yep.
season. We are kind of getting close to the season. I don't know if it's possible for you to get playoffs at this point. I think it's close. I think you have
The
to win out
way
from
the
here.
way we get playoffs, I've been thinking about this since last week. The way we get playoffs is we can't drop a single more game.
I love it. I love it.
All right,
You guys definitely you gotta take it 1 week at a time here, and you did just that today in your win. A very very fun game to cast. It was an absolute pleasure, man. Any closing thoughts? Any closing comments on your team?
Um, yo, Big Boss Man actually smurfed. What's up with that?
oh yeah, he was so good.
Yes,
All right,
some
well, thank
great
you,
fights.
Conqueror, for the interview. Thank you for the great game, and you have a good night.
You as well. Thank you.
Mhm.
Absolutely, and boy, this was a fun one to Josh. An absolute pleasure to cast alongside you, my friend. But I think that's it for us.
That is it for us, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I do believe, we have I think 3 more games this weekend, and I'm very excited for every single one of them. Hope you can tune in,
Absolutely.
and we will see you there.
Make sure you earn your channel points, bet on every single game, go all in, do whatever you do, but have a great night, guys.